Good morning and welcome to today's verse. To God be the glory. What a great day it is today. Today's verse, it comes to us from the book of Ephesians, Ephesians chapter 6, verse 14 and 15, and it says this: Stand therefore, having girded your waist with truth, having put on the breastplate of righteousness, and having shod your feet with the preparation of the gospel of peace. Here we continue on in Paul's letter to the Ephesians. Verse 13 on yesterday, we considered where Paul charged us to put on the whole armor of God that we might be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all, to stand. And here he gives us some elements of some tools that we are to put on that is involved in that armor that we are to wear. And it's interesting that he uses the illustration of a Roman soldier. Why not? I mean, Paul was in prison at this time and under constant guard. So the Roman soldier, his uniform, provide the ideal picture of what we need as Christians to be able to withstand against the forces of evil. Three things that he gives us here in these verses, and that is the belt of truth, the breastplate of righteousness, and having our feet shod with the preparation of the gospel of peace. First of all, then, that we are to have our waist girded about with the belt of truth. It is the belt that helped the Roman soldier's clothing next to his body, allowing him the freedom of movement. And also that belt provided strength and support. For the Christian soldier, truth is absolutely necessary. It is needed. It is not our own truth or the truth of man or the truth of a group of men, or even the truth that is taught in religion that can be self-centered and restrictive, but it is the truth of God. God is the possessor of truth, the truth of Christ, his word, and living out that word. It is absolutely necessary. And then we are to have put on the breastplate of righteousness. I think this is interesting because the breastplate of a Roman soldier, he would normally keep that on all the time. He might take his helmet off or set his sword down, but he always kept the breastplate intact because that protected vital organs, especially going into battle. You wanted to have the breastplate of righteousness or the breastplate in place. For us as Christian soldiers, our righteousness is not our own. It is the righteousness of Christ and he alone. He is the one that made available for us to be able to go into the presence of God, to be acceptable to God. It is his righteousness and not our own. Upon our feet, our feet ought to be outfitted not with a set of Air Jordans, but with the preparation of the gospel of peace. It is interesting that historians say that how a Romans sandals were that they would wear in the battle. It said that they had like these little small spiky nails that provided grip, that they would be able to, they'd be sturdy, they'd be able to move around, especially if they were fighting in mud. They would have sturdy standing, and it is the gospel that provides us the foundation to be able to stand. The gospel is the foundation that allows us to go forth and to do what God has called us to do and to live as God has called us to live. Footwear is so important, especially, I was in the military, as you guys know, and, our boots were very important, combat boots. Hey, you could not wear a pair of brand new combat boots and go very far. You had to break those things in. And so when you broke them in, you got to break it in just like you break in the gospel, just like you break in a pair of boots to be able to stand and to withstand and to move forward. To God be the glory for the great things he has done. I pray that you would meditate upon our text, that it will be a word of encouragement to you as you go throughout your day. I pray that you would put it into practice. And then tune in again tomorrow, yes, as we consider today's verse. Amen.